Gods and creatures play both divine and earthly roles in Aztec mythology's expansive and complex universe. Even though well-known gods like Quetzalcoatl and Tlaloc rule most stories, lesser-known characters like Azcatl, which translates to ant in Nahuatl, are just as important. Azcatl represents more than just an insect. It also represents the strength of the group, unity, industry, and ecological balance. Azcatl is a potent symbol of communal resiliency and sustenance in the Aztec worldview, where nature and ritual coexist harmoniously. Azcatl is portrayed as a powerful and ethereal form of the common ant, rather than as a large, shape-shifting god. In some stories, it is portrayed as a gigantic red ant, sometimes even bigger than a jaguar, highlighting its legendary power and significance. Its segmented body and strong mandibles are highlighted to symbolize both its ability to uncover hidden resources, like maize, and its physical strength required to move objects, many times its weight. A combination of realism and fantasy is suggested by some legends that depict Azcatl with unusual anatomical features like multiple eyes, sensory hairs, and internal respiratory channels. Azcatl is frequently shown as a colony in artistic representations, which, really strengthens its symbolic meaning of collaboration and unrelenting work. With wings for mobility, powerful limbs for carrying, and eyes for exploration, Azcatl's aesthetic prioritizes function over form, in contrast to gods decked out in golden feathers. Because of its simple, yet potent appearance, it was a key character in tales about agricultural survival and prosperity. Azcatl is conceptually associated with divine beings who represent the forces of nature and life, even though it lacks a clearly defined ancestry like many major deities. According to Aztec cosmology, kinship frequently encompassed relationships of harmony and function in addition to bloodlines. Gods like Tlaloc, the rain god, whose realm directly relates to fertility and agriculture, are among Azcatl's closest spiritual allies. Azcatl is really an unspoken but constant participant in divine agricultural endeavors, because ants aerate soil and disperse seeds, two processes that are just essential to Tlaloc's work. The god of wind and wisdom, Quetzalcoatl, is also associated with Azcatl. According to one creation myth, Quetzalcoatl was led by ants to the holy mountain where maize was concealed. In this story, Azcatl is more than just a helper. It actually transforms into a revelator, giving humanity access to food. These ties place Azcatl in a family of purpose, beings and divinities united by shared responsibility, not by blood ties. Azcatl serves as a link between the needs of mortals and the supplies of God, as this symbolic kinship emphasizes. Although Azcatl's primary meaning in Nahuatl is ant, its functions and traits frequently led to it being given different names in oral traditions and storytelling. Azcatl is frequently referred to by epithets that reflect its actions and symbolic roles, even though it might not have as many distinct names as more well-known gods. In myths or rituals, it may be referred to by names such as Bearer of Maize, Earth's Laborer, or Pathfinder of the Gods to describe its particular actions. The essence of an entity was captured in descriptive titles rather than fixed names in Aztec oral traditions, which frequently used metaphorical language and kennings. This method made it possible to invoke Azcatl in a variety of ceremonies or tales, sometimes as a divine messenger and other times as a totemic symbol of diligence. Although Azcatl is still the main term, its poetic variations enhance its cultural resonance and narrative presence. Azcatl's abilities are rooted in fundamental earthly strength rather than celestial domination. Its skills are exaggerated representations of actual ant behaviors that are reframed through mythology to reveal profound lessons about perseverance, teamwork, and survival. Azcatl's unwavering diligence is one of its main advantages. Azcatl is a representation of unwavering effort and dedication, since it embodies the ant's ceaseless efforts to establish colonies and carry food. Its ability to work together is another characteristic that sets it apart. Ants do things by working together, not by using their own strength. As a result, Azcatl becomes a symbol of the power of the group, reflecting the communal spirit of Aztec society, which placed a high importance on harmony and teamwork. In myth, Azcatl also possesses a special ability, the capacity to find food. In creation stories, it becomes a divine provider after discovering hidden maize. Azcatl is identified as a guardian of sustenance and a bringer of life by this act, which goes beyond the material world. Azcatl is also connected to the fertility of the earth. Its foraging and digging transforms and enriches the soil, signifying growth and rebirth. Last but not least, its ability to withstand harsh conditions demonstrates survival and endurance, traits that the Aztecs greatly valued and that are crucial to agricultural life. Even though gods like Huitzilopochtli or Tezcatlipoca receive more attention in contemporary pop culture, Azcatl's symbolism is still relevant when talking about Aztec heritage and ecological philosophy. The ant is commonly used in literature and education as a representation of diligence and teamwork, concepts that have their roots in the ancient veneration of Azcatl. Interest in animals like ants, whose ecological roles are now better understood, has also increased as a result of environmental awareness. Centuries ago, the ancient Aztecs acknowledged this importance, and Azcatl is mentioned in myths that emphasize environmental benefits. A similar appreciation for the ant's contribution to ecosystem maintenance can actually be seen in current conservation initiatives and permaculture movements. Ant imagery is frequently incorporated into artwork by artists and cultural revivalists as a kind of subliminal reference to Aztec philosophy. Figures like Azcatl are used by indigenous communities, especially Nahua groups, to re-establish ties to ancient customs that valued all aspects of nature, no matter how minor. Even though these reinterpretations might take on a contemporary format, they still uphold the age-old values of perseverance, humility, and balance. Azcatl's symbolic power, resilience, teamwork, and discovery remains relevant in storytelling today. The story of Azcatl lives on as a silent but powerful legacy of Aztec wisdom, whether it is told in folktales, educational metaphors, or ecological discourse.